If you're a female and you think eating over 2,000 calories is a lot, I've got news for you. 2,000 calories is a deficit for most people, not even a maintenance. That means that you should technically be losing weight. But if you feel like you are even gaining weight eating less calories than 2,000, then chances are metabolic adaptation has occurred. And the great thing about our bodies and our metabolism is that it is very adapted to the calories that we give it over time. And I wanted to talk about this. It's something I'm very passionate about because my clients that I work with mostly come from a binge eating background, and they're yo-yo dieters. They constantly find themselves just always dieting, and then they put on the weight plus more, then they lose it again, and they're in like this binge restrict type of cycle. And whilst I'm sitting here cooking, heating up and waiting for my protein pizza in the oven to cook, I'm like, what a better use of my time than to chat with you guys and share you guys some freaking wisdom from the best in the biz that works with clients who struggle with this. Now, this is like exactly the kind of person that I work with, and this is the background that I come from. You know, I was someone who binged eat. I used to binge eat for years. It took me so long to actually get out of that cycle, and that's the hard thing about it. But once you're out of that cycle and you have the methods to be able to get out of that, it is so freeing, because otherwise, like, it just feels like it takes up so much of your time. Anyone who's like been in that cycle, you know exactly what I mean. It can be really hard and really just like mentally consuming, having to think about food all of the time. But I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely possible for you to get yourself out of that phase. You are absolutely possible of being able to lose weight and gain muscle and have the physique of your dreams. You can achieve that. There is no reason why it's not possible for you. Just like for everyone else. If they can do it, you can absolutely do it. If I can do it and I went from binge eating to Bikini Pro, then you can too. So I want to give you guys some practical steps on how you can stop binge eating for good, and how to get out of that yo-yo dieting cycle, and how to actually start reverse dieting. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I just want to deliver as much value as possible. And if you go follow my Insta at Jasmine Temple Fitness, then you'll get a lot of this kind of value all the time. So first things first is you need to make sure that you're tracking your calories. What you're not tracking, you can't measure, and what you can't measure, then you cannot adjust. How do you know truly how many calories that you're eating in a day? Because a lot of the time you actually have to eat more calories than what you realize in order to be able to stop the binge eat restriction cycle. If you are binge eating, 90% of the time it comes from and not even 90, I'd say 99% of the time, it forms and comes from some kind of restriction. And usually that is whether you've been restricting yourself from food, or you're doing a lot of cardio, or you are doing both, or even just mental restriction. We have seen studies to show that even you just mentally restricting yourself can be enough to bring on a binge if you come from that kind of background. So reminder as well, like, a binge is, your body is doing exactly what it's doing. The reason that it's meant to do, the reason why it happens is because you've been starving yourself. So it's your body's way physiologically to make up those calories is to have an overconsumption of calories and to go over your calories, in case it happens again. When your body develops that it's a sign that you go through long periods of time of restriction, then what's it going to do in order to try and prevent that? Then it's going to try and overeat. So that's why you get like irrationally hungry and you just want to go raid the cupboard, because it's just like, I don't know when I'm going to get this again, so I'm going to try and get it now, because you're so used to starving yourself. And when it gets used to that habit, when it goes through so many periods of time of starvation, then you're going to go through so many periods of time of binge eating, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's literally an addiction and you're deep in that cycle. So we need to break it. And how do we break it? We need to actually bring up your calories. We need to stop the restriction. So that is why it can always seem a little bit scary to a lot of clients when I bring up their calories, even though they're not used to those calories. But when we actually look at your weekly average calories, you're consuming less calories because we're not binging anymore. And we know whether we lose or gain weight comes down to calories in, calories out over a weekly basis. So once we bring up your calories on a day-to-day basis and you stop that binge, you're technically having less calories. So that is the main thing. We need to make sure that we build up your metabolism. If you spend a lifetime of dieting, then it's not going to be an overnight process of just being able to eat a little bit more for like a couple months. Like, chances are you need to spend like a good 6 months of reverse dieting, which is building your metabolism. We want to of course, still try and keep you as lean as possible whilst building your calories as high as possible. And guess what? You're going to be in the most optimal position to be able to build muscle when we're in that phase. So, reverse diet. You need to actually increase your calories, and you need to not be scared of gaining a little bit of weight initially as well. For every extra gram of 1 carb we eat, we hold 3 to 5 grams of water, so it's going to be really natural for your weight to spike up and for you to be feeling a little bit softer. Like, that is really normal, and I would not want you to be scared about that. And you need to just make sure that you're tracking every single week. And general rule of thumb is whatever time that you have spent dieting, spend that time, double that, and spend that time reverse dieting. That is how long that you should be increasing your food for. And that's the general rule of thumb for the majority of people, and everyone can be slightly different. You can still run mini cuts and diet, like small mini cuts, like even like 2 to 4 weeks where you just pull in a little bit, like that's okay. But ultimately you want to be spending most of the time reverse dieting, and your body composition is going to improve because you're going to be gaining muscle, going to be looking better, and we know we're going to look leaner at any given body fat with the more muscle that we do have. So if you guys have any more questions as well, I have a few videos on binge eating that I've done over the years, so you can go just search up Jasmine Templeton binge eating, you'll find some videos there. I hope this helps. I just really wanted to say that is like, if you think you're eating over 2,000 calories is a lot, it's not. You've just been conditioned that. It's societal conditioning, and that is not good, and it's not healthy, and it's not progressing. Because if it was working well for you, like, how's it going now? It's not going too great, is it? No. So that's why you need my help. So if you need a hand, DM me the word coaching on Instagram, and we can have a chat. I would love to have a chat with you, and I can give you a little bit of a game plan in order to be able to help. But you need to be increasing your calories. You need to eat more. Let's get you out of that binge, restrict, yo-yo dieting cycle today. We can make it happen. It's possible for you. I love you all so much. Make sure you subscribe, check out my Instagram, send me a DM, and I'll chat with you all soon.